Now, in the UK, King Charles called for, quote, community spirit and compassion following the disorder we've seen on the streets in recent weeks. The King's also thanked the police for their efforts to restore peace, as well as the communities who came out to counter the violence. Meanwhile, though, in the US, this evening, Celine Dion's team, the pop star, of course, has slammed Donald Trump for using her iconic song My Heart Will Go On of Titanic fame without permission at a campaign rally in Montana. Let's have a listen.
You open the door and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on.
So there we go. Joining me now is royal and showbiz reporter Kinsey Schofield. Good morning, good evening, Kinsey. What's the time over there?
It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Ben. Good to see you.
Good afternoon to you. What do you make, first of all, of King Charles and sort of intervening, I guess, on the riots? He's got a bit of stick this side of the pond because people are saying, well, look, it's OK for you living in your palaces with all your money coming out your ears. You're out of touch, really, with the working class and the concerns of people in this country about, issues such as migration.
Yeah, I think in today's polarizing society in both of our countries, being a good leader while trying to avoid politics can feel like navigating a minefield. The King is being very careful and strategic in his reaction. He's emphasizing shared goals, focusing on the common objectives and mission of the community. He's trying to align everyone around a shared vision that transcends individual differences, and encouraging transparency and open dialogue by allowing everyone to voice their opinions and concerns in a legal and productive way that doesn't jeopardize anyone's safety. And I think you can create a culture of trust where people feel heard and valued. Aside from his family's multiple cancer scares, this is the most difficult period he's had as king, and he is fully aware that the way he responds to this unrest could define him in the history books. But he's in this bizarre position in the sense that his power is limited, and he has to really trust and permit the new Labour government to take ownership. And listening to you, I imagine that that's kind of hard for him based on the direction it's taken.
What do you mean listening to me? What have I done?
No, I just think that there are a lot of legitimate questions when it comes to Keir Starmer's leadership.
Right.
The King is not in a position to sit Keir Starmer down and say, hey, I'd rather do this instead of that. His power is truly, in America, we consider the royal family these beautiful, glamorous mascots. They really, truly are so limited in what they're capable of doing over there. So I imagine that there are some concerns in the background, but he's not really in a position to voice them. He has to look supportive, and he has to navigate this very carefully.
Just very quickly before we move on to Celine Dion, what's the perception of the riots and the troubles in the UK over where you are? Is it picking up much media attention? Are people talking about it?
Very much so, and it reminds us of the George Floyd riots, which was absolutely terrifying at the time. So very much concern for your neck of the woods. People, you're seeing it distributed online and shared online. And then, you have to navigate what is misinformation and what's true. You haven't, as an individual in the States, because you are so far away, we're trying to source things 2 and 3 times to ensure that what we're seeing shared on social media is legitimate. But, I truly do pray for your community because it's devastating what's happened. And we've seen a lot, very similar things in our country. And I'm so sorry that you're dealing with this right now.
OK, thank you for those kind words. What about Celine Dion then? She's kicked off Donald Trump using My Heart Will Go On at a rally. What's going on there?
Yeah, normally I love Celine Dion. What's up, Celine? I think that this is ridiculous. And what's crazy about this, Ben, is that the people actually accused somebody of trolling Trump with this song. Like, the narrative was somebody, secretly working for Kamala that set this off to try to hint that the entire Trump campaign was on the verge of going down. So the fact that it was received that way, and then for Celine to come out and say, I'm not giving you permission to use it. I don't think the Trump team really wants to use it anyway. I think that they'll just move on and crank up something a little more rock and roll.
Yeah, Trump should use that 50 Cent song, Many Men, which lots of memes have been put over the top, but it's kind of, yeah, pretty decent. Quite apt for him, I think. Kinsey, thank you so much. Short and sweet tonight. Thank you for being with us. That was Royal and Showbiz reporter Kinsey Schofield from the US. Today, Celine Dion's management team and record label Sony Music Entertainment became, well, this is what they said. They said they became aware of the unauthorised usage of the video, recording, musical performance and likeness of Celine Dion singing My Heart Will Go On at a Donald Trump JD Vance campaign rally. It's not authorised. Basically, long story short,